Welcome to Cleaning with Chaos. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing. If you like what you're about to see, make sure you tell your friends. We'll get started in just a second. Now, I asked last week for you to check out the poll and vote for which comic you wanted me to do. And I just checked the poll just a couple of seconds ago, and it was a tie between Archie's Madhouse and Betty and Veronica. So that means it's up to me, and I've still got a ton of things to do, so I'm going to pick Betty and Veronica. Now, I've already taken a picture of this as it is now, using this white background. When I take the final picture, I'll do the same thing, and then I'll post it in the I'll post it like I did the other one. So first thing we want to do is take a look and see what needs to be done to it. Unfortunately, there are things I can't find, like my brush and a lot of my cleaning supplies. I tossed them in a box. I put the box somewhere, and I just don't know where I put the box. And the reason I did that was because I'm in the middle of sorting every comic I own, with the exception of the Archies, because those are all off to the side in one spot. I'll sort them later. So instead of having my brush, I'm having to use a cloth. A terry cloth. And what I'm doing now is I'm just going over the back. Let's see what this needs. Obviously, it could use some spine work. I don't think I'm going to mess with it. I don't think I'm going to do any repairs to this other than cleaning. Let's get out my light. Take a look here. It's got a lot of dents and dings. Yeah, we'll be using the steel ball if I can figure out what I did with it. I've got 3 or 4 of them. I have no idea where they are. If worse comes to worse, I'll dig out a spoon, because I have done that with a spoon before. But I want to try to get that out. I do know where my Absorbing is. I know where my sponge is. I've got my Immaculate. I've got my distilled water. I've got erasers. I've got cotton rounds. And I have mending tissue that I don't plan on using. But the stuff I really need, I have no idea where that is. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and warm up my press. And I'm going to press this for about 5 or 10 minutes. Not even that long. What am I thinking? I'm going to press it for like a minute. Just enough to warm it up, and I'm going to use Immaculate. And I'll get some boards from the other room while I'm doing that, and we'll be ready to go in just a little bit. So don't go away. I'll be back. Well, for me it'll be about 10 minutes. For you it'll be about 10 seconds. And I'm back, and this is nice and toasty. So let's just go ahead and get started on this. Oh, and I found my steel ball so I can work on it on that. Let's see, the first thing I want to do, I've already wiped it down, taken off the loose surface dust. Let's see if we can't get some. And I'm going to put a generous amount of Immaculate on this. I might have to take this and reinforce that spine. I don't really want to, but it's in pretty bad shape. And it appears to be taking off some of the green, so I've got to be a little more careful with that. Yeah. Either that or there was just a whole crap load of dirt on that. Look at that. Actually, I think that is all dirt. So, of course, now we get to let it dry. And yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. One nice thing about doing this when it's a little warmer out is it dries really fast. I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off, maybe with my water. Get some on the pad here. And all I'm doing now is taking that soap off that I put on a little while ago. I don't want to do this too much because I don't want the colors to get faded out. So yeah, let's go ahead and let that dry, and then I'll start working on some of these lines and creases and things like that I have in here. Yeah, it's taking a little bit of the color from where it says sold on there in pencil. Somebody wrote it pretty heavily in pencil. I'm not going to try to take that off. I'm just going to try to get it to come back out so it's flat. Okay, it's reasonably dry now. Use this and there are some water streaks on it from the Immaculate and the water, so I'll have to go over it one more time with that, but what I'm doing now is just trying to get some of these little creases and dents out of it. And as you can see, I'm not really using any pattern. The closest I come to a pattern is a figure 8. But there's creases and dents all over this book, so at the top pretty good as far as the dents go. And down here. Yeah, that looks a little better. Let me put this on here. And I'm gonna I'm only using the tip of the iron here. I'm not using the whole thing. So. And I wanted to use my other one, my little iron, my real small one. I can't find it. I don't know where it is. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. It's going to be nice and flat when I'm done. Okay, I'm going to clean that off again, but first, let's go ahead and do the back side. I'm going to do some Immaculate on this. And as you can see, it has a shadow down there, so I'm not going to get the shadow off with this. I'd have to bleach it, or not literally bleach it, but use a whitening on it, and I just don't think that's a good idea, so I'm just going to leave that shadow on there. It's not going to affect the condition, because it's in good condition now. Good being the lowest collectible grade on a non-Kia comic. And no matter what I do to it, it's still going to be in good condition. So let's just get the dirt off and not worry about the dust shadow or the shadow. Plus, I don't have a method to use for my UV lights to do that properly. So maybe once I get all these comics sorted, I'll be good on that. I did. I have all of the A's sorted. I have all of the B's sorted. I'll start the C's once I finish this video. Alright, I'm going to wipe it down with water. I need to make sure I hold on to this because it's kind of delicate. But like I said, I'm trying to avoid working on the spine. Unless I absolutely have to, I don't want to do that. And I think I might be able to get away with not doing it. It is taking up a lot of dirt. This is just a dry pad here. Taking off some of the excess water. And some of the dirt while it's at it. Let that dry. There's a few little creases up here. Now the comic's still a little tiny bit damp. I'm doing this quickly and a lot faster than I should. Normally I'd give it, 15, 20, 30 minutes to dry in between treatments. But I just have so much I need to get done today. I didn't have time to work on this earlier because the table was covered with comics. So, yeah. In case you're wondering why I'm paying more attention to the top, is it had a little tear in there in a fold, and I was trying to flatten it out, and I did. So that's pretty well dry now. I don't see any streaks. Still see streaks on this side though, so we're gonna have to go over that again with water. I'm gonna go ahead and go over it with water off camera. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. Then I'm gonna put it in the press it, and we'll come back and show you the results. It's, like I said, this is not necessarily going to be perfect. It's not going to get everything off. All I'm doing right now is showing you the process. That's it. It's just the process. If I had more time, I'd probably immaculate clean it about 6 or 7 times, very lightly, instead of the one heavy time that I did. I prefer to do it, multiple times using very little, and I think it works better that way. But when you're pressed for time, you got to do what you got to do. So let me go ahead and do that, get it in the press, and I'll be back in about 6 or 7 hours. For you, maybe 15 seconds, if that. All right. I think a sufficient amount of time has passed that I can go ahead and show you this, and then I'll return it to the cold press. But this will give you an idea anyway. Like I said, I'm really busy. I have a lot of things I need to get done. So there's a result of our labor. I think it turned out pretty decent. Of course, I still have the spine split here. I still have the split here. The spine is still weak. Like I said, I'm not going to fix that stuff. It's a good condition comic. Even if I fix that stuff, it's still going to be in the same condition. Would it last longer? Probably. But I'm going to put this in Mylar, and so for as long as I own it, it's going to be alright anyway. I may take it out of the Mylar one time at some point in the future to read it, and that'd be about it. So first thing I'm going to do, take a piece of interleave paper and stick it in here. It doesn't have to be in the middle. It can be pretty much anywhere. This paper is a little small for this comic, but it'll serve its purpose. Then we're going to do my traditional sleeving. Now this is a silver gold sleeve. It's slightly larger than the normal ones I use because the comic is slightly larger. And we'll put that in there. And I'm not going to tape the top of it yet because I am going to return it to the cold press. Yeah, I'm going to put it in there in the Mylar. Basically all I'm doing is putting it back in my press. I don't plan on using my press for anything else today. So yeah, that's it. Another one down. I will make a I'll make a poll for this. I'll pick out 3 or 4 other comics and make a poll. I don't think I'm going to work on that Archie Madhouse anytime soon. So I probably won't have that on the poll. But I've got some others that I want to work on that I will put on the poll. And you can pick which one you think I should do. In the meantime, make sure before you handle your comics that you wash your hands. It's good for your comics, and most of all, it's good for your health. And have a wonderful day, and we will see you tonight on my live show, where I'm going to give you a preview of what I'm going to offer tomorrow on Horizon Picks Auction. So we'll see you then. Bye.